today we got to play Camel Up. This is a bet race game that is appropriate for some of the younger ages. It is what's the eight plus is the recommendations for this game. It is obviously about a camel race that you're going to bet on as they go through the different legs of the race. And hopefully at the end of the game, you will have the most money, and that is the winner.
Yeah, we had to leave Birdman out because he didn't quite qualify for the limits.
The 8 plus, yeah. So let's dig into quality of pieces. So you have this really interesting cardboard pyramid contraption that actually you shake and release the die with. Sometimes it works, sometimes it don't.
Sometimes you get more than one.
Sometimes you get more than one. So that's part of it. You've got these actually really cool shaped wooden camels that actually fit on top of each other, and that has to do with one of the mechanics in the game. You've got these cardboard betting tiles, as well as these cards here. These cards here, they're not linen finished. There's nothing really fantastic about them. They are. Yeah. So overall game quality, I do think the pyramid is an actually interesting thing. I think that's not the only interesting thing in this game. What's your thoughts?
Yeah, although any type of game like that, you run into issues with the rubber band. It's you're going to have to replace that. I mean, I've had lots of games from over the years where the rubber bands dry up, and I mean this one's a better quality one than what you typically get in like the older games, but it's still going to eventually lose elasticity, and then you'll have to find some other solution.
Yeah. So it's okay. Sarah, what did you think about the game pieces?
I think my favorite part is that you can stack the camels up.
Mm-hmm.
And it fits in.
I think that is pretty cool.
Yeah.
And also this where you have to put this upside down and do that.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So that's pretty cool. What would you guys give it as a score?
I'll give it a 7.
Okay. Daddy, what do you think?
I'm right around there. I'm thinking about probably a 6.5. I mean, there's nothing outstanding about it, but there's a little more thought put into it than what is given into the Catan pieces as far as the functionality of the pyramid, the stacking of these, and the dice are nice. I mean, they're colorful and they're, they match the camels, which I thought the dice are easy to see.
Yeah. I'm with you. I'm at the 7 mark too. There's a couple of few interesting pieces, but nothing absolutely outstanding. So moving on to theme, I actually think having a camel race is kind of interesting. It's not something that you see every day. So on that aspect, I kind of enjoyed the theme. Sarah, what did you think about the theme? Did you like racing camels?
Yeah, especially you had the color of the die. You had to move that one, even if it was the top of the camel.
Yeah, so that was kind of cool, huh? All right, Daddy.
And it teaches betting to the young kids, which is awesome.
It doesn't.
Well, I mean, I think the bigger thing is the money counting thing.
Yeah.
This is helpful. What did you think of the theme, though, babe?
It's fun. I mean, it's there's not a lot to this game, and but it is simple and it's good, easy to get to the table, and it can play I think up to 8 people, which is unusual. 2 to 8. So it's a good party game. You can get a lot of people into the game.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Rating for a theme. I'm gonna give this one a 7. It's a cute little theme. I think they did a good job. It's a camel race. And every it is unified in the theme, and it's cute. What's your score on theme?
I think I would give it a 9. I love this theme because I love racing camels.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. All right, Daddy, what do you think?
I think a 7's fair on this. I mean, it's not very heavy as thematic, but then again, it's a very light game, so you don't expect a whole lot. It's fun for what it is.
Yeah. So moving on to the rules. What do you think about the rules?
The rules are decent. The first page is pretty much taken up with assembling the pyramid and going over the pieces. After that, it's only a 4-page rule book. There's not a lot to the game. We have the setup of the gameplay, how the cut camels move, and then kind of what your actions you can take in here. It's laid out nicely. Yeah, there's really no way. I don't think they could have made this easier or better. I think it's fine. I think it's probably an 8. I mean,
Okay, cool. I trust you in that. So moving on to actual gameplay. So basically, you end up setting up the game, and you end up rolling one of each of the colored dice, and you put those camels on the starting location, and then as a player, you have a couple of options. You can place a bet on the current round, or you can place a long-term bet for the actual end of race. And then the other thing you can do is draw this tile here. You get paid a coin to actually get from the pyramid. The pyramid randomly chooses a die. You lift it up. Whatever number's on that, that's the number that color moves. One of the things that's interesting about the camel movement, though, is say if we roll the green, and the green is supposed to move 2 spaces. Anything on top of the green goes with it. So basically, orange and yellow get a free movement. And the winner is based on who's actually on top of that stack.
or furthest in the track. I mean,
furthest.
first is the furthest.
Well, that's what I'm saying is when you move the whole
Yeah.
thing. So that piece of it is actually pretty interesting.
Yeah,
I
and it
think.
makes it harder to do an advanced bet because you can, as dice are removed, they're not going to move any of it again for that round. So you're basing your guess on where things are each time. So if you take an early bet, it could turn out that that die gets pulled early, but
Yeah.
it doesn't get to move, or else the others that are on top land on top of it, and then it's not going to win. So you're gambling on those early bets, but they pay off big, and it's a five money versus 1 money if it comes in second.
Yeah, I mean, what I thought was interesting is there was one time that there was a stack of 4 camels and a singular camel, and the one on the stack, one on the top, I think it was yellow at the time. I went and placed a bet because I'm like, no matter what gets rolled, yellow's going to move with everything else. But then it turned out yellow ended up being last because everything ended up landing on yellow. So it's really interesting how this is really luck-based. So it's a cute little game, I think.
Yeah.
Sarah, what did you think about that?
I like it. I like it because I love racing, and it's a really, really good game.
Okay, so what score would you give it?
I would give it a 10.
Oh, you had a lot of fun. Daddy, what do you think?
Well, one other thing is you mentioned the actions, but you left out one, which is you can play a tile onto the board that either will increase the movement or decrease the movement. So if you think somebody's catching up with the camel that you've placed your long-term bet on particularly, you can play it such that they're behind that camel, so if they land on it, they're going to move back a space, and if they do, you get a coin if anybody lands on that. So, and you can pick them back up off the board and play them again by using the action to play it again. So it's a way to help modify the luck a bit, which I thought was neat. The other thing is when you place your long-term bets, you either can bet on the winner or you can bet on the loser. So you have 2 different ways of scoring that, and the scale goes for the first person to get it right from 8 down to 2 for the 4th person to get it right, and then get negative if you get it wrong. So if you bet in the wrong color and you see it's it's likely to be a different color, you can place another bet and potentially make up for that loss. I think I ended up betting 3 times on the winner and ended up getting the 8 money but losing 2 coins, so I got 6 money netted out of it still.
So give it a score though.
Yeah, well, I like the betting actions on it. It's makes it a lot of fun as far as placement and predicting. I'm going to give this one probably 6.5. It's not high on my favorites chart. I know it's fun for getting a lot of people in. It's a good party group for non-gamers, but it's not something I'm ever going to want to pull out and play myself unless it is for playing with the kids or someone that's new.
Yeah, I'm with that. I think there's a few cute little things, and that's what it is. It's a cute little thing to bring out when you have like those large groups or some of the newer players, or you're playing with the kids. But it's not completely boring. Like some of the things as a parent, we do things because we kind of have to. This isn't so bad. It's one of those things that's actually pretty good that you can get into as well. So for that, I'll give it the 6.5, just like you did. Yeah, so that's our review of Camel Up. If you'd like to hang out with us more, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. We'd love to see you back at our table. Thank you guys so much.
Bye.